It looks like we might have to go back to the basics here. What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Brian Reacts, where I review pro form and amateur form alike. Today, we're taking a look at Hans, who has been competing down in San Diego in an extremely competitive M60 division. I checked out Hans's form. He's doing a lot of things well, but there's a few key components that he's missing. In order to fix those things, we're gonna have to go back to the basics. So that's the focus for today's video. With that said, I'm gonna jump right into the action. Again, if you like these videos, please leave some comments. I will respond and read everything. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that as well. Greetings at last, Hans. I come to you from an oddly cloudy day in the middle of summer. I hope you're having a wonderful, similar summer down in San Diego. And first of all, I want to apologize it's taken me so long to get a video made for you. There's a bit of a backlog. Apologies it's taken so long to do your video. That does not mean, however, that we can't progress quickly and get you into a better spot right away. I'm holding a corn broom. I've made a few videos about this in the past, and I have found this to be the most trusty implement to very likely solving one of the core problems that you have right now as a golfer. You sent me your video. I reviewed it right away, I think 3 different ones, and I saw a very consistent theme through all 3 videos. That theme is you are rushed to throw the disc. You're rushing. What does it mean to be rushing to throw a backhand? We all want to yank on the disc and throw it as hard as we can. The problem is that you are creating an energetic sequence from the ground upward. And at any point in time, if the energy flow gets essentially delinked, whether it's something going on immediately with your footing, whether it's a friction issue, whether or not you're not properly weight shifting and you're beginning your throw on 2 feet as you currently are, whatever the reason, if at any point the giant wave of kinetic energy that you're trying to generate and direct into the bullet, into the disc itself, if it gets disconnected, the whole system becomes slack and weak, and you can throw all the effort in the world into it. All it's gonna do is do what it's doing right now. Send the disc at a reasonable speed down range, probably with low spin, and it's also causing you to topple forward in your footwork after you complete your swing. A lot of little telling pieces throughout your form, but I'm gonna start with the good pieces of your form. So fundamentally, you are throwing the disc a good distance. You told me that you're topping out around 350 feet, but that the open division essentially, or even the M60 division, which I believe is what you play in down in San Diego, is getting very, very competitive, which I'm not surprised by at all, because the sport has grown a ton and it's where Paul Macbeth learned to play. I want to focus on the good components of your mechanics first, as I do with most people. You are aggressive in your footwork. You are attacking the whole time. Your head is pretty well balanced also. You're looking ahead until you're onto your left foot, and then you kind of start to look away. I guess maybe actually that's a little bit of an exaggeration. I remember you turning away a little bit as you get on the back foot, and the foot landing kind of like this with your head here to counterweight it. That's not ideal, of course. I've talked about this many times about how you want to be directed and forward with your lateral footwork at all times. You want to be balanced and adding and striding at any point in time. If you get behind your stance as you're doing, I'm trying to create it right now, but I'm not in dynamic balance, so I'm going to fall over. Right now, you're tilting backwards a little bit. So a lot of people would look at that and they'd say, Hans, stop tilting backwards, fix your center of mass. The problem is that it's involuntary. All of this weird wind-up stuff that you're doing is in service of a fundamentally broken intention at the start of your swing. You are beginning to throw the disc before you are stabilized on your brace. So the whole throw is happening while you're actually falling forward. And you get the disc out of your hand pretty well before you actually fall over. And then once the disc is gone, you complete falling forward. Because a toppling crane, a toppling trebuchet is not good at throwing a disc directed. All of the lines of force production get thrown off axis if you tip in either direction. But the problem is that I believe you're not going to be able to solve this leaning back thing because it's being done in service of this body position. Fundamentally, until we address the core problem. That leads us back to the broom. In order for you to progress, in order to correct anything else that's going on in your form, and there are a whole bunch of consequential things that are occurring as a result of the fact that you're trying to pull the disc early before you're fully settled and in balance on your brace leg. But I can address those things till the end of time. It's never gonna fix anything until we solve this problem. So, fundamentals, the broom drill. I'm setting my body up to face you. I have a corn broom in front of me. Very standard thing. I think I got it from online from Amazon or Home Depot. My hand is right in the center of my sternum with my knuckles connected to my sternum. This forms one essentially angle with the arm. You can play around with this a little bit, but it's basically right in the center of the chest. The other arm is slack and loose and floppy. Right now I'm just letting it dangle. So imagine it hitting against the broom while it's just dangling and floating in space. And you're just gonna give it a little aid by taking the webbing of the fingers and putting it into that spot. Arm locked, arm locked. Neither of these things are allowed to move at all on their own. We're trying to swing our upper body with a weight shift, okay? That is basically the goal here. This is what the broom drill teaches you. And in this position, your leg can be loaded forward, it can be bent a little bit, whatever feels most comfortable. And all of your weight is on the heel of your plant foot right now. So I'm standing here. I've done a bunch of recent bat drill stuff, so that this will apply to this as well. But I think fundamentally, I want you to feel broom stuff first, even though it's very, very elementary. As long as you keep all your weight on your heel and your toe up there, you have to, and you keep your arms locked, you have to accelerate your upper body with a weight shift. It's the only way to do it, since the upper body cannot add on its own. This weight shift is an instrumental piece of what you're missing, because when you're set up on the T-pad, getting ready to throw the disc, you don't want to begin to pull on the weight of the disc or really activate your upper body at all, ideally, until all of your weight is into your right heel. You're fully stretched out from footwork, striding here, turning the body, loading up the body to take energy, getting a big offset between the plane of your hips, I'll face them at the camera, and the plane of your torso. These are on offsets. But the swing doesn't begin until I'm off my left foot. Why is that so important? I'll go into it real quick, since I think probably other people in the audience could appreciate this. This is a very important piece of information. We're trying to use the left leg as a position of resistance to offset the twisting rotation of the upper body, what people have been taken to calling the coil. You need this leg to remain grounded to resist that coil as much as possible. And then in an instant, you have to shift your hip angle, which is now currently facing 45 degrees that way, in the direction of throwing the disc. There's two ways to do that. One of those ways is trying to twist your hips really fast. That's how fast it can go. Obviously that's weak, and that would never add power to the throw. The other way is to use your right leg, specifically a heel push, to jam energy into the ground. As soon as you do that, the leg extends. This lifts the entire trailing side off the ground and makes you completely free to swing any way you want to, simply by extending the right leg. Sink back. How? Fundamentals, of course, right? You can't accomplish any of this until you understand how you need to load up this right leg, and you do not begin anything in your upper body until the right leg is pushing and contracting. Any effort prior to that happening is wasted. You can swing as hard as you want. You can run as hard as you want. If you begin your swing before the leg has begun to compress into the ground and turn you, you're going to be ahead of the energy the whole way. There's no way to get this to add. You have to generate that force somewhere else, either by running and bounding, landing backwards essentially, loading your whole body into that and twisting to throw the disc as fast as you can while you're falling forward. Your left arm struggling out here for stability. You notice how your arm comes way through after the shot. Why is that happening? When I throw a shot, where's my left arm? It's not coming through. Everything is coming into the disc right here. I'm stopping my left shoulder. Your arm is coming forward around your body and flying forward afterward because it's doing its level best to stabilize your forward collapse. So we need to get back to basics. I'm going to demonstrate the broom drill one more time, and this is as far as I'm going to go today. Get braced up on one leg through your heel. Knuckles in the center of your chest. Loose arm banging against the blade of the broom. Directing the sweep of the broom directly at the camera without using the arms. Keeping everything stacked and linear. Practice this over and over again until you can do it. Another thing you can cue on is pushing the brush harder into the ground, trying to generate downward pressure without using your arms. The only way to do it is to dig into the ground with the brace. If you repeat this drill over and over and over again, it's going to translate into the swing, particularly if you don't do it hard. So try it. Do the broom drill a bunch. Do it to the point where you feel like you don't have to think about it. And then you're ready to link up a disc to the same intention. Here is me in the broom drill. Shifting. Here's a disc. And I'm gonna let my arm dangle like a pendulum. Same exact thing. Now, I'm going to backswing a bit. Now I'm going to stabilize my arm to create a lever going from my back shoulder out to the disc. Broom drill. Fan. Intense fan. You get the idea. Give this a shot. Practice the broom. Send me some more video. We'll follow up then. Good luck, man. I'll talk to you later.